Oh yeah. Sucker MCs. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yo.
This thing on.
Testing, 1, 2.
Ha 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 ha.
What up, what up? Here we go. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Hey.
I need 2 more arms. I got too many buttons over here.
Man. Captain of the ship, El Capitan.
Chief Knob Tweaker. Women's Wednesday. What's happening, y'all?
Man. All systems go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tech want to act right today. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Time to move your body.
Funk with us, y'all. Funk with us.
Oh, yeah. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the DS.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners. What's happening, y'all?
What's
radio listeners too. I got to keep on throwing them in there, man. Appreciate you guys getting up, checking us out on the Listen channel. Let us know how the mix was. My 630 crew. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Feeling rested.
Good.
Yeah, got to do futon in the studio. Broke it in last night.
So now you can just work until you fall asleep and fall out.
Yep, and then wake up and work some more. That's how it goes.
Right.
No, but actually, I went to sleep. I didn't necessarily fall asleep last night. You know, kind of got myself ready and rested, and went to sleep. I had a pretty decent time, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's the secret I'm finding out, man. You can't just fall asleep any old time, and it's usually downhill from there.
Yeah, going to sleep as opposed to falling asleep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, welcome. It is Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. First Sky Omaha in the morning, a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Man, you guys are getting up early with us over here on YouTube. I see that. I appreciate that very much. Pop says, all right, Women's Wednesday, mad love from Vegas.
Man.
So what's up, Pops? Appreciate you. Larry Keiser says, wahoo, Women's Wednesday. Okay, that's what's up. Mama God on Facebook over here says, good morning, fan. Good morning to you.
Man, I'm gonna need Leia to take out a couple of those O's from that walk. She's super amped in the morning. She wahoo.
Yeah, I had to cut a couple of them O's off when I said it. I understand. Yeah. Brookhouse says, good morning. I will be at my assigned North Omaha school today as teacher candidate. Send me good vibes. That's
hey.
Up, congratulations.
The babies need you.
Jumping to the foray of OPS. Can't wait to get your insights on it from the inside at some point. Amy Huffless says, hey, fam, good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on in early this morning as well.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is great. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm a little foggy brained. I definitely woke up during some REM sleep.
Yeah, man. That'll get you.
Where's the alarm? What's going on? Where am I? What's going on? All
That'll
that.
Get you.
So I'm just going to suck down a little bit of this coffee and get busy. Leia Keith says, wahoo, better. No. Just hit one extreme to the other. You got 100 of those or 2.
I feel like I stole her joy. I'm sorry.
Buddy, stop stealing people's joy.
Yeah, being a Grinch in the morning. In the morning.
Grinching in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything special to announce. Not really much going on. I mean, of course, we have our special guests. We'll be politicking with Precious McKesson today and seeing what's good in the hood with Kimara Snipes. Put some respect on their names.
Word.
Big fights on my favorite soap opera called the Unicameral these days. Big debates and things going down. Of course, we got some bills and stuff to be watching out for tomorrow. What's exciting me right now? I think that this library situation is exciting me right now. So I've been on this library steering committee, and they're going to have an event tomorrow, an open house for people to come and check it out. We'll talk about this in the HAPS a little later, but yeah, open house, Omaha's library facilities plan. You get to see what's going on there. So this is now open to the public here. The other ones have been people that have been invited in to the steering committee. But tomorrow from 5 to 7 at DoSpace, if you can get there, you should check it out. And there's also a survey that you guys can put out too. So long story short, Omaha is really getting to be put on the map as like the first place where they're going to make all the library branches combined. It's going to be looking like a combined library / DoSpace / meeting space. And each branch is going to have something specific to the branch in the area. And we're all talking about what those specific things are right now. So it's pretty exciting to really, like, me and Buddy was just talking about it. We were thinking about old school Borders.
Man.
Barnes and Nobles, where you go just sit around reading books all day long, drinking coffee, hanging out. Well,
chilling.
I think the libraries are about to pick up that mantle in a big way.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. So
yeah, looking forward to it. I was saying before, off air, all this internet and AI and metaverse, like all these spaces are cool, but I do think, eventually we're going to come back around to meeting in person and going, to having meeting spaces like that again. So you can't beat, real life human interaction and, catching the vibes together. You know what I mean? What do you say? Living alive together? Is that how you say it?
Live alive with one another. Yep.
Yeah, man. So that's what it's about. People
in the seventh motto right there is, we can live life virtually with each other all the time. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to live life virtually. You don't have to even talk to me to experience me. You can go to my page, look at all of my pictures, hear all of my music, whatever, and experience me without even me being a part of that experience. So it just was like, yeah, well, I could be dead and you can do that. So, what's the point of that? We might as well live alive with each other and put some respect on physical presence as well, even though we can't always have it, but it makes a big, big difference when it comes to human interaction for sure. So that motto became live alive with one another. And I really believe that's the thing. Speaking of which, we don't have enough Chad Chimers kickbacks. And I'm looking to solve that this year. So I got the space over at the Benson Theater on June the 5th. Just so happens to be the day after my big 50th birthday. So I'm thinking about maybe putting something together there where we can all kind of get together. We'll keep you informed on some of that. A couple other things we got going on this year too. We're still talking to House of Afro Capes and Curls about doing the Wiz event in October. So yeah, man, a few things that are happening here, and of course, if we can maybe put a little summertime break, Chad Chimers kickback again, that would be great. So stay tuned, and if anybody wants to help me organize some of these events, let me know.
Man,
because we put our head down and we're just grinding all the time and forget to live alive with one another sometimes. So I want to get past that and make sure that we all get together. Ariel's 402 is over on YouTube. He said, I began to touch, but you weren't with it. It never seemed to be the right time. I started to give up down to the limit, and then you changed your mind. We began to rock steady. Okay.
Okay.
Got it towards the end. Rock steady.
Hey.
That's old head music right there. What you know about that old head stuff there?
Man, steady rocking all night long. Come on, man. You forget I worked at Mind and Soul for 5 years.
Yeah, but that was 20 years after that song came out, though. So I remember when it dropped. Dropped the same year I'm Bad by LL Cool J dropped. So
man,
long time ago. Long time.
Long time, boss.
Long time. Let us know how you guys are feeling in the chat. How was your first couple of days? Hump day. So how's your first couple of days at work? I know Leia Keiser's excited about today, so she must have had a couple good days at work. But let us know how your days went. What you guys are excited about? We love that.
Yeah, man. I did. I will be honest, man. I think part of my lateness and grogginess on Monday, I did catch that new Childish Gambino series, Swarm. Man,
Binged it.
and yeah, in about 2 days. Yeah, in about 2 days, man. It's very interesting. A very star-studded, very star-studded. Some good acting, some good cinematography. Crazy story, wild story.
Don't tell me nothing about it. I ain't seen it yet, man.
Well, I will say that I've done some background research, and there's some validity and some truth to it. Like it's based on some real stuff.
Really now.
Check it out.
So I watched the first episode and it got on my nerves. Like there was some. I know it's Childish Gambino, so I know I'm going to watch the rest of it, and I need to get a couple episodes in. But this happens to me a lot. I watched the first episode, and if I'm turned off, it's hard for me to get to the second one.
Mm-hmm. So what was it about it that
just the style? Well, just the style. I don't know, man. I'm not really into like. He got a little horror edge to it. For one thing,
it's definitely very gory.
Yeah, he's getting into the whole Jordan Peele, black horror situation, and I'm not really with the gore, but I'm also not with the style of storytelling for thrillers and horror films and stuff either. Like, I just like more chill. I don't even know how to explain it, but there was just something. I'll go back and watch the first one again so I can know. But there was something that turned me off about it that I was like, oh man, like it's gonna be a little bit of a chore to have to watch this to make sure that I stay. I got to have a different reason, which is, Childish Gambino is the one who is behind this show, which he's behind Atlanta, my favorite show of all time.
Man.
So we'll see. But everybody is talking about that. They get 3 or 4 or 5 in. They're just like, whoa, this is out of control.
It is. I will say, brace yourself. Definitely for the gore. Brace yourself. So any children watching, don't watch. Children don't check that out. Don't check that out at all.
Jumping back into the chat real quick, Pops. I did not know this. He said the Whispers, who was the ones who did that Rocksteady song. He said great friends of Grandpa Pop. Okay, so Paul B. Allen Sr. of the Allen Showcase was friends with the Whispers. Did not know that. Man. Mark Manor says roller skating jam. I heard that. That's what's up. You still skate, Mark Manor? I was thinking about going myself, just to try to find just to do something different and do something I hadn't done in a while. We used to go to roller skating every Sunday back in the day.
Man,
of course, I was always that kid standing at the Gallagher though playing video games while everybody else was skating, but it was still fun. Let us know. Arrows 402 says hit the like button. 194 subscribers.
Okay, inching closer to 200.
We got to figure out what we're gonna do when we hit 200. Some kind of celebratory thing.
Celebration.
Marianne Williams, good morning. Over on YouTube says good morning. I hope everyone has been enjoying this nice weather. Good for the soul. Some sunshine.
Hey, okay.
It's been nice and it's been a little warm. It's gonna be a little rainy this morning, but it's still gonna be 40s, 50s. So that's cool. I'm with it. I guess.
Take it.
I don't want to have to be out in it, but I think I'll have to. So we'll just have to deal with it.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. I suppose.
Yep. Mark Manor says I do good workout. Talking about skating. I'm going to need to work out this breakfast I'm eating. Oh man, are you over there at the gravy train again or wherever?
Eating heavy. Yep. It's definitely a good workout, man. It's still big, real big here down in Atlanta as far as skating, like real heavy skate culture down here.
Right.
Out in Cali too, man. I know you from Cali, man. A lot of skaters, a lot of park skaters out there.
Yeah, it's not a scene like Atlanta's like the Olympics of roller skating.
It's definitely a thing down here, man.
I'm not even gonna go try to skate in Atlanta. Like, you want to go out there looking foolish in Atlanta?
Nah.
It's to me, it's like being in Hawaii. Like I ain't going out there surfing. That's where I live. I live on an island where championship surfers and locals were just that's their life. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't going out there. I ain't paddling out there with that mess.
Embarrass yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like congratulations, you played yourself. You out here, you out here on the skating ring ground in Atlanta somewhere. Somebody taking a selfie of you.
Man, people skating over you.
I might have to get the skills back up here in Omaha though but I doubt that I'm gonna go skating in Atlanta.
Are there still rinks in Omaha?
Yeah, I just saw we just posted something about a skating
Hope skate?
party. Hope skate, yeah. That's what made me think of it. So I don't know, but I've never been to a skating rink here in Omaha now I think about it.
I mean, yeah, it definitely was a thing. But whatever you do, I definitely challenge people, man. Everybody out there listening, man, get up, get active this summer. As things do continue to heat up, and we get closer to the spring and the summer. Get active, man. Get out there.
Yeah, things is heating up like my joints. I gotta go ahead. Actually, they're freezing up. They ain't heating up.
Yeah.
Well, Hope Skate in Skate City in Bellevue. Right on.
Okay.
We'll see what's up. Maybe we'll do a Chad Chimer skate party.
Maybe.
Video games. What we talk about today, man, before the special guest come on in this morning?
We do have several things to get into, man. We actually, speaking of DoSpace in the library, we do have some DoSpace news, some changes in leadership there. So we'll talk about that and kind of what the future is for DoSpace. And maybe get into the library conversation. Also, looking at some bills, man, there's definitely this bill LB 441, which is set to go to the floor on, I believe, what's the 24th? Is that Friday? Yeah, Friday. So again, we're going to prepare for that. Actually, speaking of the library as well, this deals with the changes and provisions relating to obscenity, more censorship. We kind of got into it on Monday, but we will continue that conversation, especially as we look at what's going on with the libraries and prepare to have people to get down to Lincoln on Friday. And also, if you can't get down, at least be prepared to write a statement by 12 tomorrow. So we'll again reiterate what's going on with LB 441. Also looking at some police stuff going on in the city of Omaha. Apparently there's some staffing shortages. Mayor Stothert is speaking up, looking at some recruiting tactics. But we're also looking at this new prison that's going to be built, the child facility or the youth facility. There is some concern, actually. The new Douglas County Sheriff, Aaron Hansen, is urging that there will be some delays in the plan, and there is some hiccups in the transition, if you will, as they look to open up the new facility and close down DCYC. So I would definitely talk about some police staffing, and then also there's a national story dealing with police. Young brother Irvo, who lost his life in police custody. So again, we'll continue that conversation, looking at has things really changed since the George Floyd incident. So again, it's going to be a heavy one. Of course, we will be politicking with P, learning what's good in the hood. So we're here for the next 2 hours, man. First Sky Omaha in the morning here on this hump day. Let's go ahead and get this show started.
Yep. What up? Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. With a foggy brain, mushed mouth, Paul Beeee the Dove, and a bright and chipper and well slept Buddi3 Da Gawd this morning.
Hey.
So appreciate you coming on in. All of you chat chimers, all of you ghost listeners, thanks for joining us. Also, all of you on the radio channel as well. My 630 crew, thank you. Really appreciate you guys getting up and doing that. Remember, you can go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button. 24/7 celebration of black music is going down. Speaking of black music, we'll be talking about this all throughout the show and on the Haps, of course. But the celebration of life with Curly Martin is going to be happening this Saturday, the 25th, from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Lots of musicians playing, lots of music that's going to be shared. Family will be there. family called me to come and speak, and so we'll be there celebrating the life of Curly Martin. It's the only thing that'll bring me over there right now to the old Mama Call 'em Loves Jazz. I'm gonna call 'em Loves Jazz. North Omaha Music and Arts. Curly was a dear friend of mine and a mentor, and I'm kind of glad that everybody's kind of come out and celebrating his life. I wish that,
Man,
same argument I have. I wish that people would give you your flowers when you're here.
man, I can smell them.
At least get along with you, live alive with one another when you can. But at least they're going to show honor to his life. So we'll be talking about that for sure. I'm sure it'll be an amalgamation of a bunch of different musicians, young and old. Everybody really, really respecting him, and so we'll be talking about that and making sure that you get wind of what's happening there, all the way up until the Haps today. Really appreciate you guys that contribute to the Haps as well. So get your Haps together. We'll definitely have that. And I pulled a lot of stuff from Friends of First Sky Omaha. You guys are still really putting stuff in there, which I appreciate very much. It's the first place we go when we pull stories and things we're going to talk about, because we want to see what you guys want to talk about first and foremost, and try to facilitate those conversations. So anyway, I don't know why I went off on that tangent right there. Like I said, foggy brain, mush mouth, Paul B. the Dove this morning.
It's all right.
So I'm gonna do my best, and let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and jump into some stories here before we get to our special guests.
For sure, man. And as I mentioned, kind of jumping off with some DoSpace news, some positive news as far as what's going on in the community, some resources coming back to the community. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar or have frequented DoSpace, but it's a space that I use a lot, especially coming back from college and trying to make moves and organize and do things. And DoSpace is definitely a good space to do things. But big shout out to Krystal Rider, who's been announced as a new director on Monday. If that name sounds familiar, Krystal has been working a long time in the nonprofit space in Omaha and working in community development. Before DoSpace, she worked as a grant manager with 75 North, a revitalization company. And if you're not familiar with that, 75 North, again, is a company behind the Highlander neighborhood at the old projects right off of 30th. Again, they're a social services and development organization, and she joins DoSpace at a time of significant change. Of course, they are revamping the location. They will still be located right there on the corner of 72nd and Dodge. As we were talking about Borders, that's where the former Borders used to be, and now 72nd and Dodge will be the home of the new DoSpace. There's actually an agreement with the city. A lease agreement announced this month would temporarily move the text library services to the Milton R. Abraham's Library on 90th, while the new space is being revamped. And this is, again, Paul, I'm sure you have more information as you're part of the library steering committee, but this transition is not also physical, but also operational. There will be a kind of a marrying between the library system and DoSpace. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. I think they're kind of combining in the new space that's going to be there on 72nd is going to be more half library, half library, half DoSpace type of situation there. So a combination, and the way, and I've seen the plans. The plans look crazy, man. They're gonna have like a big window that's looking out on 72nd and Dodge, and a big fireplace within. So it's like a space you can kind of hang out at. If that all gets approved and they get what they want out of the plans, you'll be able to kind of hang out on the second or third floor and kind of look out over the city while you walk around and reading books and hanging out with people. So it's going to be exciting to see. Like you said, they're going to move it for a while, and then when they come back, it's going to be that amalgamation of the library and a DoSpace, just like all the other branches will be. But this will be like the main piece. But there's still going to be a main library branch. Can't remember right offhand exactly where that's going to be, but that's it. And again, even that main branch is going to be more like a DoSpace this time around too. So a lot of resources all over town when this goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, speaking of the resources, just as you were kind of talking, I'm remembering some of the things that I would do at DoSpace. And like I said, coming back from college, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Didn't really have many job opportunities, but I still had skills that I gained from college. And DoSpace was really the only place that I had to kind of continue to sharpen those skills, and to be familiar with, Adobe and Photoshop and Illustrator and some of the skills that I'm using right now to do what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? So DoSpace definitely played a big part in allowing me to not only meet and kind of organize with other people, but to sharpen my skills. So hopefully that's a resource that others will use, especially as it becomes more accessible to the north side. As you mentioned, there'll be some DoSpace esque type services and resources in the Abraham branch on the north side, and the Benson Library, and just all the branches will get those types of resources. So again, urge the young people, especially around you, to use it. But even all the listeners out there, man, use it. I know Mama Guy, she has some things that she's working on, and she was able to go to the library to use some printing services and things like that. Man, the libraries are definitely a community asset, and let's use this opportunity to help improve them. Paul, can you pull up that flyer again?
Not quite. I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay, okay.
throw this in the thing here real quick though. This is a survey, so you could be a part
Right, right.
of what happens as well. Pull up, definitely get that survey done if you can, because they want to hear from the public on this. And yeah, I'll try to figure out where that situation. Oh, the flyer. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, but that survey is good too. That's exactly what we're talking about as far as, again, having the opportunity to have your voice be heard and help shape the future of what goes on with the library system, like not just individual branches, but the entire system and what you might like to see from it.
Yeah, and just to give you some examples, that Washington branch over here that's on Ames, close to 30th. I gave them a story about when I first started this stuff too, man. Some of the first interviews that I video recorded was in some of those rooms in the library.
Mm.
So I kind of got my business started over there. I brought cameras in, microphones in, reserved one of the little offices, and did some interviews in there, and that's kind of how I got my video stuff started. So even before that, even before this whole talk about what DoSpace is going to do, we were able to use it like that. So I'm just really excited that I would have also been able to cut the video and everything there, because there's DoSpace like facilities there,
Right.
and I use them there as well. Also, at DoSpace, I don't know, many people don't know this, but the beginnings of this whole nonprofit news association started over there too. We were going to meetings
Yeah.
at DoSpace.
Yeah.
First meeting, Matt Wynn over there at Flatwater Free Press. This is when OHA people, or Omaha World Herald people, would come through. This is when Houston and those guys came through, and this is when we were at Mind and Soul. So we were all trying to get this whole group together that we have now with this partnership with this nonprofit news sector. And all that started at DoSpace. They had the space for it. They had the computers there where we can utilize the resources. So again, I think I'm really excited about these libraries being these kinds of headquarters where we can, you can be somewhere without having to worry about buying anything, and just hang out and have some space to do what you need to do. Also, I talked to a guy who works over at the Florence branch, and he told me, I was getting some information from him about what to put over there, and he told me that a lot of people in the area homeschool. So we came up with this idea that maybe that particular branch could facilitate homeschooling for people that are in the area. Having resources there for that, having classroom settings and stuff like that. They just built a new basketball court over there, so they can have calisthenics and PE exercise stuff going on. I mean, there's a lot that can happen for kids that are being homeschooled right there in that area. So again, talking about the branches in your area, filling out that survey to give them some ideas of what can happen there. Lots can happen. And just to give you an example, there's a whole bunch of money in libraries over in Council Bluffs. They got all that casino money that they put in their branches. Their branches are luxurious. You can go to a branch in Council Bluffs and you can check out cameras, lights, equipment, all kinds of stuff, just like you can check out books.
Mm-hmm.
That opened my mind up to what libraries what kind of resource libraries can actually be, because you grew up thinking libraries is just about books, but it depends on what the branches have.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I was having a conversation with one of the brothers here, one of the elders, about libraries. Actually, specifically the Library of Congress, and just the information that's in there. And just kind of got my mind going, like, man, what does it say about society as far as where they place their libraries? You think about like, Egypt and some of the higher ancient societies and how they revered their libraries. And you think when they fell, I mean, the libraries were some of the first places that were burnt down. So we can't do away with that, man. The library is definitely a resource, definitely a place that can help elevate society, the community, the individuals within the community, man. And this
Yeah.
is our opportunity to help steer that.
They were saying something about just to your point, buddy. They were saying what does it say about Omaha that they first had a library, the main library branch, right in the center of the city, and then they took it away to put a skyscraper up there. But that's another conversation. Kimara Snipes is in the chat right now. We'll be talking to her pretty soon when we're seeing what's good in the hood. She said we also need something similar to what they have at Florence, a branch, other libraries like the community center. Yeah, community centers attached to branches is definitely something I'd like to see. And also, she also said when I did programming at Charles B. Washington Branch, the kids were already there. I didn't bring them. The kids love the library. That's what I'm saying. Vicky Young in the chat said, good morning to you over on Facebook. She says, yes, fill out the survey. Library representatives are using the feedback to determine resources and services for neighborhood libraries. For sure. Miss Erica Felt gives us a good morning. She says the survey doesn't take long to complete. I was posting it a few weeks ago. So, yeah, appreciate it. I'm going to put that in the chat again. Thank you guys for co-signing on that for us. Like I said, one of the things I'm excited about in Omaha is this for sure. So, and I'm thinking that we can use the space to do a whole bunch of organizing too. Kimara Snipes' favorite word. So, I'm thinking about how we can use these resources, really pull things together, and make libraries essential space for the public to be able to learn things and connect again for sure.
Man.
7:31 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. And not only do we have Kimara Snipes in the chat, but we have Precious McKesson in the wings. We're going to bring her in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be politicking with P. Precious McKesson. Put some respect on her name. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. How are y'all?
Hanging in there.
I'm a little foggy this morning. I woke up in the middle of a dream or something when the alarm went off, and I went up. So, but I'm here. I'm here though. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I like the LA hat.
Yeah, representing.
Yeah, I got it from my sister for Christmas. It was one of my gifts that I requested. And when we do a gift exchange, you request what you want, and they get you what you want.
Okay. Skip the guesswork.
So it's no misunderstanding about getting something that I'm not gonna use.
Okay, well there you go. Also, you see you representing the Creighton Blue Jays. I think one of the chat chimers did ask about sports. Creighton, in the tournament representing
the Sweet 16. Hey, look here, they getting some money from me, so yeah, I gotta represent.
Hey, and you do know that. You
got an academic scholarship. That don't mean she get to eat for free.
Hey, that part.
Yeah.
How's she doing, by the way? She acclimating to school?
She is. I mean, she's doing really well there. I don't have to wake her up and say get to class. So I'm really impressed with that 8 a.m. class that she didn't. She kept it going instead of saying, "Oh, I want to do all afternoon classes."
Okay.
And so then so she gets up in the morning. She goes to school. Then she turns around and she has a part-time job working at the Boys and Girls Club doing their Readers to Leaders program. So she's really doing really good.
Nice. Well, what is that? We were actually just talking about the library. What is that Readers to Leaders program?
Readers to Leaders, basically, I mean, I'm not familiar because I'm not employed Boys and Girls Club, but from what I take, it's a program where they're teaching reading and encouraging reading with the kids. Last year, she received season employee, so basically kind of like an employee of the month or maybe employee of the season, where all 23 of her students that she had in her class for Readers to Leaders all passed, and they were able to, they succeeded the program. So all 23 that came in passed the program during the time that she had them, and they were able to take them to the pizza machine as a gift for succeeding in that program. So basically encouraging reading, and it's very impressive for her because when she was at Girls Inc., I will never forget receiving a letter saying that she was below the level of reading, and she was in the first grade, in first or second grade, and it was very discouraging, for someone to give me that letter saying that my child was not proficient in reading, and we spent a lot of time at the library, and we spent a lot of time at Barnes and Nobles, And Taylor, like always, that was something that she enjoyed doing. And she's talked about it maybe about a month ago. We were at Barnes and Nobles, and she's like, Mom, remember when we used to sit in the kids' corner? I used to get all my Junie B. Jones books and all that. And I was like, yeah, because we enjoyed reading. That was something that, I did a lot with her and buying her books and stuff. And so for her to have that letter when she was so young, to going to be the senior class president, to getting a full ride to Creighton, and now she's giving back to students in her community. She's over at Mountain View. It really means a lot to me, and it shows that she has gained the knowledge and what it does to give back to kids. So I applaud her all the time, that she works with kids and is really giving back to them, and especially with the Readers to Leaders.
I love that.
Apple ain't falling too far from the tree.
That readers to leaders sound like a grown up pizza party. Remember them pizza parties you used to have at the library when you
you get your book it. Your book it. And shout out to Miss Tess, because Miss Tess was actually Taylor. She's in the chat. She was actually one of Taylor's teachers at Girls Inc. and who really pushed Taylor when it came to reading and stuff. So shout out to Miss Tess, who's actually in the chat. So she's
nice. Hey,
a little pup.
That's beautiful, full circle. But yeah. I mean, reading is fundamental, and I'm sure you look at kind of the common thread of a lot of leaders, and they will say there's a love affair with reading at some point in their youth. That kind of help propel them to that. But it's nice to see Taylor is again following the footsteps of my Dukes with the leadership, and making us all proud.
I keep all her books. I've never given them away. I just can't do it.
Let them know they need to put the Deuce in their reading list.
Yes, definitely. I love that. I need to order that book. I need to order that book.
That's what I did. I wanted the hard copy. I like hard copies because I keep a library. So I ordered it from Amazon, and I still haven't gotten my cousin to sign it yet for me, but I'm gonna get there. But it's necessary reading for everybody who wants to. If you have any kind of love for Northside, really, you got it. It really is like, oh man, yes, I remember why I love this side of town. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I read all of Adam Fletcher's books on the North Omaha history. I ordered all those, and I ordered 2 of them when I was in DC last year so I can complete the collection of it. So definitely want to add Patricia's to my I mean, I'm a book person, and I love books. Like I don't want to do that. I mean, I used to do the electronic book thing, but I'm a person. I want to feel, I want to smell it, I want to hold it. Miss Annette would tell you, like, up at the African American bookstore, I want to come in and I want to feel the book. I want to actually hold that book, even though sometimes I'm the person who's trying to read it and fall asleep with it, hit me in the face, but still, at least I was hitting the
part of
book.
It's part of it. Speaking of Miss Annette in the bookstore, is the Deuce, is that at the bookstore?
I'm not sure if it is quite yet, but I got contacted by cousin Patricia and Miss Annette, and they both contacted me independently, and I put them together to see if we can get that book in there.
Okay.
So I got to check and see. It's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
A shout out to the African American bookstore and Miss Annette, keeping that dream alive, keeping them doors open over there too, man. That's a serious resource. And for a person who's lived all over the country, I got to tell you, that's a serious resource, because we don't have that everywhere. That's for real.
And coming up soon, they'll be having the street naming for Mr. Marshall. It was passed by the council, so that will be coming up to really celebrate his honor. And so really, definitely a shout out to Miss Annette and them. I mean, you can go get anything. You can go get you some shea butter in there, some oils.
Man.
Look here, get an education lesson while you up in there, like
there's a classroom in the back. I actually used to teach classes back there. So speaking of the library, and we talked about how important the library is, that's even a step further, as far as North Omaha and the community, and us gaining knowledge of ourselves. African American bookstore, that's where it's at.
And I tell you what, man, in this era of them banning books,
yeah, man.
All over the place, it's even more important than ever to have African American bookstore. It might be the space where all the banned books is going to end up.
You want to
go, you know what I'm saying? So,
speaking of that, LB 441, man, that takes us right into it. Are you familiar with that, Precious? Or have you caught wind of LB 441?
No, but if you can brief me on it.
So this is again bringing us right into the conversation. We are, of course, politicking with Beeee. LB 441 changes the change provisions relating to obscenity. Again, this is a bill that we've been talking about this week, looking at basically continuing to censorship what can be and can't be taught in the state of Nebraska, and what can be and can't be, in books that are available to children. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
once again, you have these liberal, whatever you want to call them, people saying what can and can't be taught in our schools and what shouldn't be. And it's like, my question is that they say we don't have enough funding for books as it is. So what they gonna do? Go in and have these companies redo the books and then turn around and have to buy these books again, and then they say we don't have enough money to buy the books in the first place. So how are we gonna afford the books with all the new
And
information that don't have no information in it? I mean, it's just sad. It's sad because these are
yeah.
parts. It's like when you talk about history, it's like there was there was something I was just reading recently where the publisher went back in and took out all the information about Rosa Parks,
Mm.
hmm.
The Montgomery bus boycott. How do you erase that? Because that's just what I mean. I don't understand what these folks are doing. But again,
Well, we understand what they're doing. You
yes,
know,
I mean, I'm trying to be nice today.
I will say that bill was presented by Senator Johnny Albright, so I'll
No,
put that out
I
there.
mean, shit. I mean, excuse me.
is this the bill we looking at here?
He wants to
Yeah,
tell. He
241.
wants to tell to
Yeah,
keep
that's
the
it.
baby, keep the babies where they don't want to help you pay for them. They don't want where you got to go through an arm and a leg just to be able to get assistance. They don't want to help you with your kids when you got the kids. Now she want to tell them she don't want. Well, let me shut up.
I pulled this. I pulled this thing up from the Nebraska Library Association. That's talking about the fact that educators, qualified educators, and librarians are not feeling safe working in Nebraska. You can get prosecuted if you have certain things. They're trying to pass this bill that would burden Nebraska taxpayers and the courts and contribute to the shortage of qualified educators who will no longer feel safe working in Nebraska.
So this right here. So basically, they trying to prosecute everybody, put them in jail. So basically, I guess this is gonna help them build that new prison because they're gonna have enough people now to put in prison for violating these laws. They trying every way they can to get to really get the things that they want. Prosecuting people for talking about history and by certain things, like making it hard for people to be able to get.
And Marianne Williams in the chat giving us a little more context. She says the bill applies to post-secondary schools, which is correct. Censoring college students is censoring adults, is what she says.
I mean, but censoring college students. But again, but we got to pay for this education. We got to pay
Mm-hmm.
for this education. We got to pay these institutions in Nebraska, UNL, UNO. So what they gonna do? They gonna give them all free education? They'll say, you know what? You can still go to school for free, but you just can't talk about this. But you gonna pay? You got to pay these people. Got to go to their institutions, and then they turn around and want to put you in jail for talking about history. This is some bull crap. I mean, you sit in class, you got to sit at UNL where we know the population of black people that go to UNL. No, matter of fact, no, the population that go to Creighton. Let me go and just keep it 100. The population that go to Creighton, you telling me they already make our students take certain theology classes, certain biblical classes that they have that's mandatory. So they got to learn about different religions already because Taylor had to learn about different religion. And then you're going to tell me that she can't learn about black studies at Creighton, but then she got to sit in a class where she is literally the minority and listen to about everybody else's history, but not talk about hers. Are you kidding me?
It's the reason I went to FAMU. It's a reason. But we got to know that this is CRT. This is an anti-CRT bill through and through. After they kicked up all that dust about CRT in elementary schools, and then it finally came out that they don't teach CRT in elementary schools, and now you see this bill.
It's taught in, and it's my thing is it's taught in law. Like CRT, that critical race theory class is in law. It's an advanced, it's a law class. I don't understand. This is the thing. When you ask these people, like literally, like number one, they don't want to talk to you. They don't talk to you. They don't want to have a conversation with you because they all stupid. And I'm saying that with all respect, They all stupid, as my grandma would say. They just stupid. Because when you have the conversation with them, they don't even make sense. They don't make sense. And
even
then
though
they
it's
turn around and say, "Oh, we believe in all these different. We believe in Black lives. We believe." Well, how the hell you believe in Black lives? You're trying to erase us.
well, yeah, and or letting other people do the erasing. Um, and I already jumped to this is the reason why I'm glad we left off on the African American bookstore. I'm thinking about the fact that they have. I mean, how important is books again? How important is us
Yeah.
having certain editions before they get changed up? How
What is
important is this?
this?
You got to build your library. You got to hold on to them things like treasures because of the fact that they will take them and like Kim was saying in the chat, they're trying to whitewash history, and it's already going. It's already a battle to have to fight to not let that happen with your kids in school. And part of that fight to me is going to get the real information and having that and putting that at home in the treasure chest because I can't even I'm looking I once came across something where I had a book and then a new edition came out and a bunch of stuff was changed like that, like you were just mentioning,
Yeah.
like Rosa Parks being taken out. Well, how do you know anything if you don't have that previous version? How do you know anything? You don't talk to your elders and find out what's really happening. And so when you think about it like that, resources is thin, bro. Resources, you better really start going and getting your collection together so that you
So
can keep.
they don't take out Dr. Martin Luther King.
Some states have been talking about taking out teaching about Martin Luther King. Yes.
Yeah.
But I just, look, I'm not gonna stress myself out about these people because I know these things was coming, and I know, but it's like, how do we, how can we be the free nation and want to and believe in equality and believe in and I'm not gonna say justice because we don't, because people get mad when we do the Pledge of Allegiance. They say justice for all. I say someday. I say it
You,
loud so everybody can hear it in the room.
you don't believe
Because
in equality. You don't
yeah,
believe
because
in
I
none
mean,
of those things.
because it don't, we can say the Pledge of Allegiance, but that last part and justice for all someday, because it's not justice for all. Like,
Right. Never has been.
um, it's like it's just rating. But again, you can't even get these people to sit down and have an intellectual conversation with you because they're so grounded in hate that they don't even want to listen to what you have to say. And so it's hard. It's very hard. You can't even have these conversations.
I'm past. I'm not even trying. That's what I'm past. I'm personally myself. I decided maybe what was it 4 or 5 years ago? Not explaining nothing else to white folks. Nothing
I
else.
do remember you saying that, getting past that threshold. Like, yeah, this.
It's not our job anymore to explain nothing to white folks. White folks want to know and understand what's up. They can look it up for themselves or ask. I'd be happy to have a conversation if you really want to seek out some knowledge. But trying to change anybody's mind on that, not having. I'm to this next point now where it's like we build our own, we do our own, we create our own libraries, we teach our own kids, so on and so forth. Now, the one thing I am worried about though is that it's not you can circumvent a lot of what's going on in school by homeschooling or teaching your kid at home after school or giving them the knowledge. But what happens when the kids in school, especially white kids also need to learn what's going on with black culture, with black. They also need African American studies to understand what. So they'll be missing it, and that's going to cause even more division. So even though you can give your kids that knowledge, you still are missing. You're missing the opportunity to connect with the rest of the country because those kids aren't going to get that knowledge, and then you guys got two different knowledge bases.
But it's oh, go ahead.
I was just going to jump in real quick because I got some pretty good messages here. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to find. Yeah, Von Chapman said Hitler would be so proud of the white conservative movement.
Man, remember Nazi Germany got a lot of their tactics from America.
They got their how they act with people's tactics, their torturing tactics, the putting people's death and all that kind of stuff. They got it from the looking at how people were treating slaves. But the rise to Nazism started with stuff like burning books, changing up histories, and all that kind of stuff, just like what's going on right now. Marianne Williams says LB 374 is the main anti-CRT bill, way worse than LB 441.
Yep. So LB 374 is a bill to adopt the Parents' Bill of Rights and Academic Transparency Act. We've been talking about this as well. Basically giving parents way more control over curriculum.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can. if you could pick, they want to try to pick and choose what they want to learn, what they want. I mean, we all try to pick and choose what we're trying to learn, and what we're trying to teach our children and stuff like that. But also, the way that they got this thing laid out is that you can prosecute teachers. I mean, there's so much that they want to control here. We already know that there's this play for control for the education system already. This is one of those things that they're trying to do, that making it so they're putting it on citizens, just like how in states where they're trying to ban abortion, they're also trying to give the population the ability to call the police on them, turn folks in, and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to let the population police them. To me, that's the same thing as what's going on here with that bill. Is that they're policing what's being taught in school that way, instead of really going through the proper channels and getting together and putting curriculum together, working with, the system and trying to make it good for everybody. They're pushing this other way. I want to read more about what LB 374 is talking about, but it's interesting that what is I mean, what's the ramifications of you being able to do that? You being able to control what is the teachers are teaching. Basically, you can control what they're teaching if that bill goes through. And this is not just, and of course, there's two different levels. We're talking about this in college. We're also talking about this in the high school, middle school, elementary school. Where's this end? They're attacking all education. Period.
I'll tell you where it don't end. What happens is that in 2024 and 2025 and 2026, we need to flood those ballot boxes. We need to be on those ballots, and we need to get elected, and then we need to make some change, because that's what it is. They feel they have the control, because they do technically have the control in when it comes to elected officials. And so right. we need to flip that. I mean, everybody on here and anybody who is engaged can sit in political office, because what you're doing, you are basically researching and making change to make sure that your community or the people that you represent have opportunities, and you are able to make change for them and laws that exist for them. So I tell people, flood their ballot box. That's what you do.
Yep.
Flood the ballot box. Make them, if they want to make this change, and they want to make them work for those seats that they sitting in. Make them work. It is
ballot of the bullet, like Malcolm X said. It's got to go down, and that's that. We got to go back to that. There's all kinds of stuff to do. Feet on the ground stuff to me is, first of all, make sure that you got the information, that you can share the information, teach the information, and empower there. The second part of that battle is to go get it where it needs to be at as well for everybody else.
Right, and they're not as smart as they think, as everybody think they are. Because if they were smart, Senator Michaela Cavanaugh wouldn't be handing them their asses right now. They didn't read the book. They read the Cliff Notes.
I want to come back to that in just a second. It's 7:53 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, in the chat, real quick, YouTube over on YouTube, Tough Anderson says, "If you don't own it, you don't control it."
There you go.
Also on Facebook, Vaughn Chapman says, "This is exactly why it's hard to accept a black conservative. Indoctrination is the control mechanism used in the black community."
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
That is awesome. I mean, that is right on. That is right on right there, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Right on.
Marianne Williams on YouTube says, "The attack on curriculum in K through 12 and above is also a large part of why I changed my mind of vouchers."
I'm glad Marianne Williams mentioned that. We do have the issue of vouchers as well.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, Kimara sent us over some information on vouchers and their effects. I kind of put it in the setup for us to talk about a little bit, but she's on now. We can ask her about it. So we'll bring Kimara in just a second. But I just wanted to say that there's a couple of things that I want to talk about with you guys. Let's go ahead and jump into this. I'll bring Kimara on. We can jump into that discussion. But Precious, don't let me forget. I want to hear from you about what Senator Kavanaugh was doing and the drama that happened yesterday at the unicameral. If you saw that, and get your word on what's going on here, because we politicking. I want to know what you're seeing as far as the politicking with P is concerned on that level. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'll be seeing what's good in the hood with Kimara Snipes. Put some respect on her name. Good morning to you, Miss Snipes. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm truly blessed and highly favored. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good.
Hanging in there.
I like the beanie. I like the She Hustle shirt.
Yeah. Like the look.
I see you're over at the headquarters. That's the 30th and Lake Street version of Scooter.
Ames, 30th
Right,
Ames.
down to LinkedIn, yeah.
That's what's up. All right, how's things going over there in the headquarters?
I'm pretty good. I just got here. I'm just outside, chopping it up with the staff. I like to make them laugh because they work hard over here. Oh my gosh.
Shout
this
out.
This place is always busy,
Slinging that coffee. What's up?
Yeah.
Well, good. How are you doing? By the way, before we jump into anything, just how you doing personally?
Yeah.
You know what? I have stopped drinking coffee.
Okay.
And I have noticed like my anxiety going down. So I'm like, I think I may be done with the coffee. It may just be an every now and again thing, but and it just made me think like, I talk about this stuff with my doctors and none of them ever say like, do you drink coffee every day? It just really makes you wonder and think about your health and these doctors and the questions you have to ask, especially like as Black women when you see, the treatment we get by them. So it's just really been on my mind like, damn, I had to figure, dang, Precious, I'm over here like you, had to figure it out myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of messed up. But anyway.
Yeah.
Don't have the FCC, I don't think is biased.
Nah, we just trying to keep it family, but I understand the slip every once in a while.
Yeah.
Kimara, so I have this. I ordered this mushroom coffee. This mushroom.
Is that the Kajava? Is that it?
No, it's another thing, but it's a substitute that people who are trying to get off of coffee drink. It's kind of like coffee, but it's made from mushrooms. It's got all these health benefits and all that. I mean, I got to put 3-4 tablespoons of sugar in it when I'm drinking it, so I don't know how effective the
some honey, maybe some honey.
I'm scared to try it with the honey, but we can try it. But I'll save a little bit for you and see if you want to check that out. I don't know if you have a problem getting off of coffee.
No, I haven't so far. Thank God. I didn't think about that. I don't even want to speak that in. Like, no headaches, no nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be drinking 2 pots a day to come off.
I was drinking a lot of coffee, y'all. I be at Scooters all day.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did hear, it does give you the jitters and things like that. And Paul, I am with you on that. Actually, a roommate of mine had that, and I tried it before. I mean, I enjoyed it, but yeah, definitely, I hear that the mushroom tea is a good alternative.
Yeah, I want to try it. I definitely want to try it.
And I don't ever expect any doctors to be like giving you any preventative advice. They just want to be like, oh, you got anxiety? Okay, well, keep on drinking 2 pots of coffee. We'll give you some pills, right?
Yeah, when I worked in the legislature, we used to drink coffee all day, and then on top of that, I used to always drink a Red Bull, and it was it was bad. So when I came off of it, like I would feel my body start to crash around 3:00, and then I'll be like, and Senator Wayne, and so everybody started drinking a lot of tea in the office. Then that's what I changed to, and then when I came off of Dr. Pepper completely, baby, it was hard. It was hard. Mm-hmm. So now it's more of just alkaline water, a bunch of teas that I drink. And but I really, and then every now and then I'll go get like a hot caramel macchiato or something, or Caramelicious from either Scooters or Starbucks. But it's very rare. It's not like it used to be.
It's like dessert now instead of
yeah.
Help as well.
Well, whatever you guys are doing, you guys are looking great. And I appreciate you guys working and reminding me to do something about physicality. You can't just sit and look at the screen all day. You got to take care of yourself. So I appreciate that very, very much. Kethro, is that you in the house, man? He's talking about, okay, that's what's up, man. Good morning to you over there on YouTube. Appreciate you coming on through. Ariel's 402 said, was your coffee full of sugars or plain? Stop adding sugars. That's not coffee.
I drink my coffee black.
Yeah, I drink my coffee black too, and you have to talk about the caffeine levels that are in it that get you jittery for sure. If you're already a little bit anxious and on edge, you should not be drinking a pot of coffee a day. That's just or even 2 or 3 sodas a day. I mean, they got the same amount of caffeine and stuff in a Coke.
I have to do the emoji.
Jittery.
This is the emoji I need for it because because I'm drinking it all the time.
That was me walking around with a Dr. Pepper, like literally, it was bad. It was bad.
Nah, y'all gotta put that down. That high fructose corn syrup. Gotta put it down.
I don't buy them anymore. I might buy it every now and then, but I'm really proud of myself because I used to be drinking those suckers like, man.
Like I said, I could tell the difference. We went out to dinner. I was like, man, everybody looking good here right now. Y'all been working.
That part. Health is wealth.
Health is wealth. Before we jump into it, is coming up on 8:00 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, that is 8:00, second hour of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. If y'all don't know who we talking to, then what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Precious McKesson, Politicin with P. We got Kimara Snipes seeing what's good in the hood, and we really appreciate you ladies getting up this morning and joining us. Definitely want to jump into some of this stuff that, Kimara, if you don't mind, I saw your post that you put in Friends of First Sky Omaha. You give us some information about those vouchers that we've been talking about, and how those vouchers affect certain things and what their effects are. They did a little study on what the effects of the vouchers were. You forgot about that?
The school vouchers.
I share so much stuff.
You see it and throw it in, don't you? You just see it and throw it in. Buddy,
I mean, yeah, I kind of recall. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to take a look at that article real quick? I was trying to ask Kimmer about it, but she don't remember even putting it in there. So I see how.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share it. We can all look at it together. How about that?
All right, we're gonna share it. But it was kind of interesting. I started reading some of the beginnings of it. Evolving evidence on school voucher effects. We have this debate all the time because we're always talking about school vouchers. And who just said in the chat? I think Marianne Williams said in the chat. This is why she changed her mind about vouchers. What did you change your mind to about vouchers, Marianne Williams? If you don't mind giving us a little background there on that one. And
so, like, full disclosure, like, I try to help my policy people with research, right?
Yeah.
And so I am on so many email lists and different things like that. So when I saw this, I read over it. I can't even remember everything I read in it, but I was like, ooh, okay, this is a rebuttal against a lot of stuff. So yeah, we do the same thing, a little skim through and then get on here and talk about it with everybody. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that they even when I came to that subtopic where they said larger scale studies indicate more nuanced, which is my favorite word right now. More scroll down a little bit, buddy, if you would, and more negative effects of voucher programs. So again, first of all, somebody remind us about what a voucher program is. Number one, so just in case the listeners need that information, can one of you guys explain that for us real quick?
It provides basically for private schools some type of. I don't believe in them, so I don't really.
Yeah.
Some type of I can't even think this morning.
They basically are like setting aside funding, right?
Tax credits, funding, whatever. Yeah.
It's supposed to be about giving parents a choice. Basically, the states are setting aside money, and vouchers go to students to be able to attend these private schools. I see them as private schools.
Okay, so I was wondering if vouchers went to students or if it went to schools, but you're saying it goes to students to go to these different schools.
The way I understand it, it seems like it's for the family because it's talking about giving the parents the choice, right? So that to me sounds like it's for the student.
Okay. Marianne Williams in the chat says, I support our ability to choose the school that's best for each child. So does that mean you support vouchers and you didn't before? Let us know where you stand on that. This is the vouchers. First of all, what struck in my memory is talking about this before and talking about how people were thinking that money was coming from the school district to go to these vouchers for people to move their kids out of the school district. And they were upset because they were losing resources at OPS, but that's not. Then it came out that that's not the case. These vouchers, the money is coming from somewhere else. We're trying to follow the money, and it goes and it comes from somewhere else. Marianne Williams says it goes to nonprofit, which pats the school. Okay, so the money goes to a nonprofit. So what does that mean? They make it so that that if a kid wants to go there, there's money there for them. She said, I used to be against vouchers. Excuse me. I testified against them for 5 to 6 years. Wow. Okay, So you made a big change on your attitude about it. And
Yeah.
if I
At
go
the
back,
end of the day, a voucher undermines the public education, and it goes to a private school of, I would say, unaccountable private schools. It just undermines it. It takes money from public education.
it does take money from public education. Then
And
Yes.
I don't see how it's something that benefits all students, right? It seems to me like there are still several students who are left out of the process, which to me is not equitable. So that's my question I have about it as well.
okay, so here's what I'm seeing. I went back up to her original comment, and she said the attacks on curriculum in K through 12 and above is also a large part of why I changed my mind of vouchers. So we got a six of one, half dozen the other. You're taking money away, or not, or you're creating a situation where some kids are gonna get some help, other kids won't. You can't do it on a big universal level because money's being directed somewhere else. But at the same time, don't you want parents to have a choice on if OPS or whatever is not working for their kid? Can they get money to send their kids somewhere else where they can get a better education, especially when we're dealing with what we're dealing with right now, with them doing stuff like trying to take Martin Luther King out of books and stuff like that. The curriculum, the attack that's happening on the public school system, as far as curriculum is concerned, we just got done talking about going to the African American bookstore, getting our own library together, teaching our kids and doing all these things because of the fact that we're having such a tough time with the curriculum. So shouldn't parents have other choices?
But if that comes into law, then nobody will be able to teach it. So that even that private school wouldn't be able to teach it.
Oh, okay.
Am I right or wrong?
That's
I'm not sure.
that's an interesting point. But I think what I'm hearing after just kind of listening to both sides, I definitely get the argument of giving parents a choice. And if my mom had a choice, would I have stayed at North my whole 4 years? What you kind of think what would that have done? But also my mind goes to I agree there are students who are inherently going to fall through the cracks with this, because if the parent has enough initiative to even consider those options, to take the child, like to even take advantage of the vouchers. Like from what I'm hearing, the parent has to take care, first of all, care enough about their child's education to take initiative to look for a voucher, get the voucher, put them in a different school, use the voucher. And I feel like those parents are going to make sure that their child are going to be okay anyway, because they have a parent who cares about their education. What about the parents who don't care? What about the students who don't have somebody who's going to look into the voucher, who's going to apply for the voucher?
They care, but they work two jobs or whatever. They can't really
exactly don't have time to care or really take initiative.
I just
wait, hold on. She has her hand raised. So the lady in the blue sweater. Okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead, Kimara.
go ahead.
I was just reading
go ahead, Kimara, go ahead.
What Marianne said, that since what Buddy is saying now, that the parents that care, yes, we have that part. But now you're saying what Marianne just said, that most bills don't impact the private schools. Well, that's kind of crazy, because not every parent can afford to send their kid to Creighton University if the private universities aren't going to be impacted by these laws. I don't know. It's a lot.
What were you going to say, Kimmer?
So, it's just what I was going to say, actually kind of what you all just said makes me think more about it. I feel like there's so many questions, right? What I was going to say was that I just wish that, as they introduce this bill and try to push it through, like, just where's the research? Just show me research. That's just what I want to see. We all have all these different questions, and I just feel like if proper research is done ahead of time, you even have all these questions, because you can answer them. We're just kind of out here, we just don't know, we don't have a clue, and to expect any of us to have the answer right here in this moment is just really ludicrous. And so I just hope that, I'm saying, I feel like people introduce bills. Who was it, Luann Linehan with this one? Is that her? I feel like people introduce these bills more out of I don't know, sometimes pettiness, sometimes vindictiveness, sometimes lack of care.
Favors.
And I'm not necessarily even saying with this bill, but you know what I'm saying, definitely without the research, the whole thing with racial impact statements, right? We want those and need those because people out here introducing bills with zero idea of how it will impact people. What I want to know about this is how will it impact people? Like we're talking about the young, like Buddy just said, the young kids who maybe they don't have parents who are able or capable or whatever to do their due diligence to make sure that they, you know, find the best opportunities for their kids. We just have too many questions. That's always how it is. And I think it's because, you know, there's just not enough research being done. So that's all I was.
Kimara, I think that is an awesome idea because, you know, when they do a bill, they require them to put a fiscal note to tell you how much it's going to cost the taxpayers. They should require them to put research attached to that bill so you can say, hey, this is the research that actually supports this bill, and if it actually makes sense, then you wouldn't have the things that are going on. That should be a requirement.
Done. Like, oh my God.
Shout out to Senator McKinney and his racial impact bill. That's something that's it right there.
Yeah,
that's it right there.
And again, when I went down there to testify, I feel it now. It was horrible the way these senators think, act, and feel about us, and it came across in that whole hearing about that racial impact statement. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
of course, because it'll show it. It'll show, like, if you know that this is the racial impact, why are you pushing this bill? And then, you know, it gives them less wiggle room. It's less gray area. Because it you know that this is going to be the impact. That's why you're pushing the bill. It kind of puts their hand right on Front Street.
I remember when I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, Leo Lewis and Shamika and some other people, they invited me to this event they did a few years ago. It was out west at that like Dollar Theater off of Center, if you know what I'm talking about. And it was the movie something Virginia.
The Virginia schools.
Huh?
It was the Virginia schools meeting. I remember the movie. I remember that.
Her name was Virginia, I thought. I don't know, but she was a teacher, a mother who was trying to get her child. It was basically about these voucher systems, you know, and I didn't know what it was. And I was on the school board at the time, and they just invited me, and I went, and there were some people down there trying to, and I was like, I shouldn't even be here. But you know, I just remember walking away from that movie just kind of with questions, just kind of wondering, you know what I'm saying? Because I get that parents want the best for their kids. And at the end of the day, I want people to have the best for their kids. So I just want to know what the right answer is. I'm a product of the public school system, and I'm going to do everything I can to support it. But yes, I also want to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we all be able to do right by our babies. So it's something to discuss, and I'm glad y'all have a platform to do it.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad you come on the platform. So I want to jump back in real quick, just to get some clarification on a couple things. First of all, Marianne Williams said there's no one solution, one bill will never fix anything. I definitely want to start there with. Also, Vicky Young said not necessarily a stipend, but more like a scholarship that's applied towards the tuition. So the definition of these things are what I want to get clarified. Marianne Williams on YouTube also said, I changed my mind slowly over the past few years. I've read everything I can on the subject. I have tons of resources if anyone is interested. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'd love to even have you on the show to have this discussion as well, so we can talk about it live. Also, she said HBCUs are starting private and charter schools so they have students prepared for college, but so many are not. Von Chapman says the intent is control. If there are no books or reading materials, you can't do research necessary to make informed decisions. Tuff Anderson says in the public schools we're equal and the same all over the area. There would be necessary for vouchers. Wouldn't be necessary for vouchers. Mama Guy says is every child that applies to private schools admitted? I imagine that child with additional needs or brown will be denied disproportionately. And so to clarify, like I go back to this part. I'm all for kids, parents having choices on where to put their kids for whatever their kids need. Not down for money being taken away from public school in order to do it. So I'm still not all the way clear about whether or not money is coming from public school to these vouchers in order for these kids to go into some of these private schools. And I believe that the private that everybody should have a chance to go to some of these private schools or charter schools if they if their family feels it necessary for them to go to in order for them to get what they need out of school. So to me, it kind of comes back to follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's all my opinion about whether or not this is a good idea. Choices, I think, is always a good idea. So
What is the bill number?
I was going to say choices. I think
573 or
is
573 LB 573, I think.
Go ahead, Paul.
so choices is always a good idea, but again, at what expense? And I want to be clear. I'm trying to get clear on at what expense. The ability to have a choice to put their kids in other schools. What's the expense here, and not just monetarily. Like what are we taking away? Who are we leaving out? Who's getting left out? I still would love to hear. I still want to get clear on that. Is there any way we can in this conversation?
Yes, that's why I asked, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why I asked what the bill number was so I can read it. So according to LB 573, there is hereby appropriated $10 million from the general fund for fiscal year 2023-2024 and $10 million from the general fund for fiscal year 2024-2025 to the Department of Economic Development, Program 601, for the purpose of establishing a time-limited grant program effective for the 2-year period beginning July 1st of this year through June 30th of 2025 to facilitate the improvement and revitalization of real property. Funds may include any combination of public and private dollars.
Yeah.
So the general fund, which is not the OPS budget money. It's not. They're not. Money is not coming from public school for this program.
They say it's not, but it is going to impact. And then they're going to give large organizations, people be able to get, the rich will be able to get tax credits for the money that they donate to these, whatever you want to call it. But again, I just want to, when you say follow the money, let's follow the money real quick. I just want to make sure this is very much so clear. Senator Luann Linehan's daughter works for Betty DeVos, who is very much American, who is very much so pushing all this money into Nebraska to get this bill passed. I just want to keep it 100. Let's keep it, it's public. Let's keep it 100. I feel that back in 2019, I feel like they got a lot of different Black people to push this, and maybe, and again, this is everybody's personal feeling and personal beliefs of how they feel with this. But I'll never forget somebody putting a yellow scarf on me and me not knowing what the school choice program was, and here I am at the Capitol working for the office, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I had to do some research. I said, hold up, I don't believe in vouchers, so I had to make sure I never got involved in that again. But again, these things, I feel like when you bring these into the community, you'll see at this point, and not trying to knock it, because if everybody had whatever their opinion is, that's there. But this is my personal opinion. You bring this in, we already don't have enough private schools in North Omaha, because this is where, let's keep it 100. Jesuit School has a waiting list. Nelson Mandela has a waiting list. Holy Name is full. What other ones do we have? Sacred Heart is full. So what ends up happening? You start seeing these charter schools or these schools pop up in strip malls. They pop up, they're there for a little bit, and then they can close. They have no regulations to where they have to stay open a certain amount of time, and they can say, oh, we have no more funding. Kids now have to go back to public school. Let's just keep it 100. Like, this is what you're going to see. Charlie Kirk, the one who does Turning Point USA, is one of the biggest people who have created charter schools, and they have closed down because of these voucher deals. Let's just keep it real right now. You can't say it's going to benefit our community when our community is right now. So where are they going to go?
Right.
Where are they going to go to school at?
So, okay. I feel like I'm getting personally I'm getting some clarity a little bit on this. I'm understanding better for sure. I'm going to go through the chat real quick, and then we might table this and come back to this again. Before I want to jump into a couple of things before you guys get out of here today. But let me jump into the chat real quick. Marianne Williams says yesterday public school reps testified against a bill that requires school to change their suspension policies to make them more equitable to everyone, especially black and brown students. I don't trust that system will change. So this is more evidence to the reason why she has changed her viewpoint on charter schools. Also, Areas 402 says if a parent takes their child out of private school and enrolls them in public school, will the public school receive a voucher? Well, that's a good question. Sarah Phelps in the chat from Facebook, thank you for joining us, says a lot of private schools are religious. I'm not okay with money going to organizations that exhort votes against progressive and equitable initiatives. All the schools that you just named on the north side seem to be connected to religious organizations. Vicky Young is asking, is the issue vouchers or charter schools? Not sure if it's going. I feel like it's going hand in hand. It's the vouchers are for charter schools, so it's really kind of both. Marion Williams says, but why hasn't the left proposed a bill to offer tax credits to public schools? We always say no. Need to find a way to make everyone happier. And also, it gives black and brown communities a chance to create more Nelson Mandelas.
And I just want to, and let me clarify something. Nelson Mandela is a privately funded school. That school, and I just want to make sure I am saying that school has nothing to do. That is privately funding by the Lozier Foundation. They don't receive any type of funding from anything that is privately, and I want to make sure they have that they're not impacted by LB 573 because they are privately funded. So I want to make sure that I make that very clear with Nelson Mandela.
You want to give us a final thought on this, Kimmer, before we move to the next subject?
Actually, it's so funny. I was just sending Marianne Williams a message. I was like, "Ooh, I need to learn more about what you're talking about. I just have questions, and I hate talking about things where I don't really know, and so I just need to learn more."
Well, that's what we're here to do. You see, we ain't scared to ask no questions around here. We trying to learn as we go. So
it ain't about that, but I just remember somebody told me a long time ago, if you don't know, don't speak on it. So I want to know more. I have some questions. I have a lot of questions.
Well, Ms. Williams, if you don't mind, we would love to have you on the show to talk about this subject further at a different date. I appreciate everything, all the information that you're giving us, and we'll definitely keep on looking into more of this as well ourselves personally, and finding some more resources. When the senators come on, as a matter of fact, on Friday, we can talk to them about it again too, because I think both of them were for the bill for charter schools. They were for vouchers for charter schools. They were kind of saying the same things about parents having choices. So we definitely want to. This is one of those nuanced conversations for sure. It is very subjective as well. It's personal beliefs, but it's also follow the money. It's trying to understand what we're kind of trying to anticipate what impact would happen on black and brown students in numbers especially in the public school sector. What this would mean. I like the idea of other Nelson Mandela schools on the north side. I mean, there's a lot to this. So I'm glad that we're taking the time to talk about it. It is 8:22 though, if you believe in the concept of time. But before we let you guys get out of here, definitely want to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday in the unicameral. What's going on with Senator Kavanaugh? Put some respect on her name. What was the fight about? That's all over the news. Every article is coming out of the Omaha World Herald is talking about the contentions and everything that was going on in the unicameral. I want to get you guys' opinion on if you were paying attention.
I was not.
I mean, she's just doing what she do. She told them last week that she would stop the filibuster to allow them to debate the bill if the bill is basically on the docket. Yesterday it was on the docket, but they wanted them to kill the bill to cancel, and they said no. And so she said okay, and so Senator Hunt said what she said, that if they don't stop the bill, she would join the filibuster. And so basically, this week that vote should happen, the culture vote, to see if it continues, to see if that bill can continue to go to second round. They'll do that most likely Thursday. And if not, if it does not pass, then that means the bill is killed.
Okay. What do you expect is going to happen?
She don't got the 33 votes. She doesn't have the 33 votes to that's Senator, I don't even know the lady name, Kalath or whatever. I don't even want to know her name. I just know who she looked like. But I don't think she has the 33 votes to make it go, to let it continue. And hopefully there's a victory on where they'll kill the bill. And this is her priority bill. So this is the bill that, right now she when you put that as a priority, that's what you're willing to go to bat for. And right now, it doesn't look like she'll have those 33 votes. So Kavanaugh will go ahead.
And again, I don't know if you guys remember the bill, the number of the bill, but this is the bill that will allow they're trying to prevent people under the age of 18 to have transgender surgeries. Is that right?
To receive certain medical care.
Certain medical care. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Marianne Williams in the chat said Hunt was the star of yesterday, and I agree. I don't think ours have the votes. So normally you need like 23 votes or something like that, and then if you filibuster, then you need 33 votes. Is the number changed because of the filibuster?
No, you have to have 33 votes in order for that bill to pass.
Period. Okay.
Yeah, you got to have the 33 votes. For it to continue to go forward. At this point, she doesn't have. She's not going to have that. They don't think she has it. I mean, and she says she doesn't think she has it. So the senator has said, that she doesn't think she has it. So it'll continue to go through. So today they'll start debate up again, and let's see what will happen. And yeah.
So any gender affirming care, which was just hormones of any kind of surgeries, anything like that. So that's what this is for, because and Senator Kavanaugh is fighting this because she wants parents and kids to have the right to do what they need to do for what they for themselves. So yeah, I see. I keep on every time I turn on the news, man. She's everywhere. Everybody's talking about what she's doing over here and why. And so this might come out to they don't get they don't have the 33 votes, and this bill is dead. And then all of that fight was justified. Her the time she took to do all this filibustering was justified. So anything to look forward to upcoming when it comes to this situation or any other bills that we need to be like looking at as far as you guys are paying attention to.
Well, hopefully, once this is done, we can do some business, and then we can go forward with the other bills, because there's a lot of other bills that need to be debated and passed. That really impact us, especially the 1024 bill. I mean, that right now is just sitting there. I mean, because remember, once it goes, they have to now vote to approve where the money is allocated to. So, I mean, there's a lot. Kimara, what other bills you feel that they're in there that need to be, that we know that's in there that need to be passed?
It's funny about LB 1024. I had a conversation with someone from the Department of Economic Development yesterday. It was interesting. But other bills, I would say, speaking around voting, because to me, this is all about having the right people in the right spaces, as far as I'm concerned, at the end of the day. So I would say LB 457 is something to look at. It would require polling places to be under video surveillance. LB 808, requiring all ballots to be counted by hand, which in places like Douglas County, Lancaster County, Sarpy County, I can't even imagine how much that would cost in just, staffing. So those are a couple that we are looking at. Yeah.
Man, we need to do some kind of like game show where we just reading off what bills so people can and mark off on their little bingo card which one they like, don't like. We need to figure something out.
Maybe the first guy has its own little bill tracker on your page.
LB.
Maybe have a look on that.
First guy LB bingo going down.
What that is?
That's on our end. We apologize.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know what is Senator Wayne's bill with for felon voting rights. Restore those felon voting rights. I mean, there's a lot of bills that are sitting, and I was reading a story yesterday. They said that out out of all the bills that were brought out of committee, it's a possibility that because we're halfway through the session, not one bill has been passed in the state of Nebraska, and that's historical. Normally, bills have already been passed, and we're halfway, well, a little bit more over halfway through the legislature. They said maybe only 80 of those bills may get passed.
Out of 800.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand what Senator Kavanaugh's doing, and big shouts out to her. She said she was gonna do it, and she did it.
We got about 2 minutes left with y'all. Kimara, what's good in the hood? Tell us some good news. What's going on?
I was gonna tell y'all about the NAACP meeting that I went to. I know often when they come up in chat, come up on the show in the chat and whatnot, it's often said how little is being done. And so I took a lot of notes during the meeting about just different things they are doing. And so maybe I'll put it on your First Sky page, but they have also some opportunities for like engagement and interaction with them. And I did raise up First Sky during the meeting, and I told them, I said, look, if y'all out here doing stuff, which clearly you are, you know what I'm saying, you have to find a way to tell that story to people. I said, we do have communications channels out here, you know what I'm saying? So I told them I would, lift up some of the things that they're working on. And they are working on a few things. And so
what are some of the things that stood out in your mind?
Let's see here. They have a Courageous Conversations Alliance that's looking at different bills. They're also looking at the LB 753. They're also going to be holding some conversations on funding for like K-12 education in Nebraska. They're working to like restructure the conversations to facilitate more participation. They have a Lawyers in the City program done through their legal redress committee. They also shared a long list of places for people to be able to find legal help. Some other stuff they're watching is LB 20, LB 53, LB 535, the voter ID. They did go down and testify on those bills. I did see them there. They're watching LB 343 and 518, which off the top of my head, can't remember what 343 is. They're working on their strategic plan. They just completed the second part. They're going to have another one on the 22nd of April at 9:30 a.m. is when they're going to finish that strategic plan. They meet at Mount Moriah. They have a legal redress committee. They're working with 3 individuals from the community right now. One who's dealing with unfair treatment on the job, another with unfair treatment by an officer of the U.S. Marshal's Office, and one who dealt with some discrimination in the Council Bluffs Hospital. They're also working with Judge Vaughn. I don't know if you know who Judge Vaughn is, but they're working with Judge Vaughn to address complaints coming from people who are incarcerated, trying to get not necessarily Judge Vaughn to give legal advice, but to offer some support, education, and things like that. I can't remember what that guy's last name is, Precious. I know you probably know him, Tim, the lawyer. What's his name, Tim? Ash, yes. He was there, and he talked about today there is the young man. He's talking about the young man who had the manslaughter charges dropped, and then Don Klein went in and filed like additional charges. He said he wanted people to show up for that today at 1:15. There's another trial on the 27th. He wanted people to show up for. He has a case against several judges, I guess. He said something about they're pushing cases to a murder panel that doesn't really allow Black people to sit on it. I tried to holler at him afterwards, but I had to holler at Pastor Williams about some stuff. They met with OPPD. They have a veterans committee. If you know veterans that need support with the complex like VA system, the guy's name is something. I wrote it down. They're working on Juneteenth, and they had this guy from the FBI there. You had to be there. As far as I'm concerned, he was disrespectful as could be. And Pastor Williams agreed with that. The conversation was very heated about how, they have these trainings and different events out in West Omaha, but not in North Omaha. And this gentleman from the FBI was a Black man, and it didn't go down very well. It was an interesting, but I encourage people to go, and I have information I can share. So it was a good meeting.
Yeah, definitely drop that in for Sky Omaha. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear about what the NAACP doing so much. And it's just another example of us. There's lack of communication here in the community, and we want to have more communication there. We've been trying to get folks to go up and back bills or fight bills. on our own here when there's other organizations out here are doing the same and showing up. Brianna Full in the chat says, I see Pastor Michaels a lot testifying at the legislature. I got the opportunity to meet him years ago. I did a video for him when he was over at Metropolitan for Metropolitan Community College, and so I was interested to see that he was part of what's going on with NAACP now. So a lot of, like you said, a lot of times in the chat, people are like, "What are they? What is the NAACP doing?" Well, I would love to be able to share some information about what they are doing, and not just that, but team up with them on some stuff too. We can definitely find that common ground. Precious, you got any last words before we let you guys get out of here today?
No, just just be good to yourselves, and just channel that negative energy. Find somewhere else to channel it. I have actually found a way to channel my negative energy when I get it, and it's really working.
Can you tell?
And
Is it a private thing, or can you tell?
no, I just go take my butt to the gym.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
I thought you about to say something crazy.
Nah, I take my butt to the gym. Go outside, breathe in that good old fresh air, and come back. Because again, I just, I yesterday I had to ask myself, why was I'm like, dang, I said I really have been covering these grades up, but I'm gonna embrace my grades, but I'm not gonna let these folks stress me out.
Hey, there you go. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a little salt and pepper.
I got
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm about to be 44. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just gonna embrace it.
Own it.
I heard that. Enjoy the weather, Marianne Williams said. I heard that. She said she's enjoying the weather. I am too. Yeah, I appreciate that. Kimara, you got some self-care things that you did this week that you can.
I'm just hey, it's motorcycle season. I'm about to be on somebody's motorcycle till I get my own, and I am doing less news. I'm sleeping in the morning. Sunday, I think I slept about 14 hours between that and Monday morning. I slept, and it was wonderful.
There you go.
Taking better care of me.
I know I'm old because that sounds like a vacation to me. Like, Lord, I don't know if I can afford to take that vacation.
It was beautiful.
I appreciate y'all very much. Brianna Full is saying, and we're gonna leave everybody with this. Brianna Full said, "Who is Tracy Hightower? Have we talked about that yet? She's running for legislation in Justin's district."
We have not.
Hold your comments. We'll save that for later.
She ain't the only one running for Justin. See, that's all I'm gonna say.
Look at Precious face is telling it all. So is Kim's. I said, hold your comments and y'all faces.
Just let them go.
Just let it go. We're gonna let you guys
That's
get going.
That's a good question though. Who is she? Because if y'all don't know, let me shut up. Okay, y'all.
We will pick that up very, very soon. Thanks for Brianna Full for bringing that up. She said,
Look at Brianna, I've been waiting.
Well,
so funny. Brianna.
I want to know too now, for real, for real. All right, we'll definitely talk about it soon. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys coming in. Kimara, you got something else?
Nothing. Nope.
You gonna get somebody in trouble, Paul. You gonna.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Paul and Bree.
I was gonna say I do know Tracy. She was actually my lawyer when I got my name changed, but that's about all that I know. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, that's more than what I know. So.
I was going to say I didn't know she was a lawyer. All right. Yeah, we'll continue to talk about it, and we'll even ask Senator Justin Wayne, put some respect on his name when he comes on through on Friday too. See if he knows what's up. Leia Keezer says thank you to you both, and we also want to thank you as well. As always, it's a pleasure for you guys to come on here. I love seeing your smiling faces, and love having conversations with y'all for sure. So I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Let us know if anything fun is happening this weekend. I'm feeling like I'm gonna wind up to something fun. I heard as soon as Kimara said motorcycle season started back, I'm like, miss my bike.
I do have one thing, Paul, and I just forgot to say it. I'm gonna post it on. I posted the first guy today. I am, as I continue to do all the other work that I do, I do sit as a United States of Women ambassador for Nebraska, and I'll be doing a forum today, a webinar, co-facilitating it, and basically it's talking about self-managed abortion on our own terms, and we'll be talking about the history of abortion and how we self-managed abortion offers safe path forward to abortion access. So this is a national platform that I'll be doing this on, but I'll drop it in the first Sky Omaha. It's this evening. So if y'all want to join just to get a little bit more information as we continue to talk about the access to abortion for women in a safe and alternative ways. And I'll post that.
There you go.
Well, there you go. For friends of First Sky Omaha, be looking out for Precious posts. And again, we will catch up with you guys very soon. Thank you so much for
Alrighty.
coming
Have a good
through.
one, y'all.
You too.
Peace.
Peace. All right, there
you
you
go.
go. Women's Wednesday, man. It's always a pleasure.
Always.
We'll take a quick break and come right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Precious said it's all about the ballot for some of these things.
There you go.
Stay tuned, y'all.
The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners, everybody who's joined in on the radio channel as well. Appreciate everybody who's joined in the chat. I'm glad you guys are chiming up. Very, very good, great discussions. I feel like we've moved into some more understanding on some of these issues, these evergreen issues that we got going on here. And I'm definitely learning more as we go about these programs, vouchers programs, charter schools, private schools, OPS,
All that.
all that. Very interesting. So shout out to Brooke, who's getting ready to go be a part of this OPS system. I can't wait to hear about what's going on on the inside from her perspective if she does. And that'll be awesome. So Ariel's 402 says 6 more subscribers until 200 over on YouTube.
Hey.
So please tell a friend. They can always go back if you missed this show, any parts of this show, you can go back and watch it in its entirety on YouTube, the First Sky Omaha YouTube channel, and also on Facebook as well, First Sky Omaha Facebook page, the main page. We're putting a lot more news, a lot more things on the main page as opposed to Friends of First Sky Omaha. So we put it on both, but we also are adding some things there too. So go to the main page on First Sky Omaha and subscribe to that one, and also get your hit the bell notifications, let you know every time we come on, all that good stuff. And we appreciate you guys being co-hosts and part of this whole journey. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
Buddy, how you feeling over there, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just about 15 minutes in the show. We do got a couple more stories to get into. So, just chilling.
Chilling, man. Chilling. I like that hat.
Oh, thank you. Got to represent, man. Yeah, shout out to all my rattlers out there far and wide.
Yeah, well, you got any plans to go back? Any reunions?
Man, I need to, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since I graced the highest of 7 hills. But I need to get back to my university, man. It's only 4 hours away too. So it's calling me. Yeah,
I'd like to go back with you one day when you go back and check it out, man.
Hey, yeah, come through, man. Actually, there's been a lot of changes to the campus. A lot of the dorms I was there when I was there. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but campus has definitely changed since I've been there. So, looking forward to it. But yeah, somebody mentioned about, speaking of school vouchers and things like that, what FAMU is doing. That FAMU has had a high school, FAMU high school, that it's like a complete feeder program. I mean, they have a junior band, like it actually is on the campus. It's like across the street from the campus. So it's kind of similar to Creighton Prep, but again, it's an HBCU. It's a beautiful thing. So that whole conversation is definitely very interesting, and I can see it from both sides. But I would definitely kind of, now that that's on top of mind, like to go back and see, how some of that stuff works more in detail, if you will.
Love that.
Yeah.
Meantime, between time, what we got going on here before we get to the haps? A couple more things out there. Did anybody wake up this morning and check their feed to see if Trump got put in jail?
Man.
Because all week we've been talking about he has predicted that he would be indicted and arrested on Tuesday. And we woke up today like, is he in jail? Is he in jail? Nope. Come to find out, it was him making predictions. There was false news, no truth to this. This is just what he was speculating, and it's interesting that he chimed up and speculated on that because a lot of things went into action off of this speculation, and now it's got me thinking if this was a tactic.
Dog whistle,
big time dog whistle, bro. Like ready for people to protest, ready for people to hit the streets. He's running for president again. This is a good way to mobilize his base. Is to feign the threat of something happening to him. I pictured a mob of white dudes trying to break him out of jail and all kinds of stuff when I heard this news. It's not like this kind of stuff hasn't been done before.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't think about that initially. It was kind of more so like, why is Trump announcing this? And it was just kind of more of a head scratcher at first. But yeah, when you brought up this story to my attention and we kind of talked about it, you know, and I did not hear news about, you know, what was going on. Apparently there were some attempted or plans of whispers, if you will, of a protest on behalf of Trump in New York. So I didn't really think about it, but that is a good point. That is definitely a good point, and not just as far as him trying to rile up his base to respond to the arrest, but also to for 2024.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's running for president, so I expected some kind of weird controversy, weird thing that he was going to chime up about. So it was kind of interesting when he chimed up on this. At first look, you're like, ooh, he's a little nervous. He might get arrested. But Trump ain't nervous he gonna get arrested. Trump, If you know Trump, then you know that he's thinking he'll get out of whatever there is. So why would he put that out there? Well, he would put that out there so he can be like, so you guys get ready because they're gonna try to arrest me, and we ain't gonna let them do it. And so to me, like you said, dog whistle. To me, it was a ploy to get people going. So I read that a whole bunch of police departments all over the country set up barricades and all kinds of things, getting ready for protests Tuesday. They spent a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time putting up barricades around the Capitol and all kinds of stuff for fear of people lashing out if Trump gets arrested. No truth to that. Like Marianne Williams says, Trump is still roaming free for now. He is actually in a lot of trouble. Yeah, but he's not thinking that he's going to have to suffer that trouble. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he's thinking that at all. So I think he played a card that got a bunch of people mobilized. They got a bunch of people getting ready. And then when you're running for president, you know, you're running you're playing a little victim card a little bit. I don't know, man. After finding out we looked long and hard to find out if anybody was saying that he was going to get arrested besides him. We said this the other day when we were talking about it. We said it Monday.
Why is he saying that?
Like the only articles are out there is that Trump is predicting that he'll be arrested on Tuesday. Right. No other evidence to the fact.
Man, chat's kind of going off.
Pop says with Trump, that is always the situation. This stuff is strategic, and he will create scenarios to keep the headlines and keep his followers stirred up. Saying what I'm saying. Marianne Williams says, I think he will be arrested, convicted, maybe not. I see a bunch of fake pictures of him surrounded by police. Everybody's making a big joke out of it, like he might get arrested, but I don't know. Kimara Snipes says it was definitely a tactic. One of the courthouse in New York City received a bomb threat yesterday, allegedly.
Wow.
What I'm saying, bro.
Wow.
People ain't gonna let him get. He's banking on that. There's enough extremists out here that won't let him get arrested, or at least retaliate.
Just gang, huh?
Just, right, straight up. Mama God said, buddy, maybe we need to schedule another classic trip in Orlando so Paul and First Sky fam can join. I went ahead and read that one because I want to put that into existence. Yes.
Put that in the ethers.
Pop says actually his own people said days ago that they had not been notified about Trump being arrested. That's what I'm saying. There's no evidence to the fact that he was going to get arrested yesterday.
So he's just putting that out there.
Put it out there, and you gotta think why. Why would Trump put that out there? And then not just think why, but look at what happened. Look at what happened yesterday. They were barricading up stuff, ready for riots, ready for he called for protests. I might get arrested Tuesday, so you guys protest. He called for it.
Yeah. I was actually going to mention that. According to the Independent, he put out on social media, "Take our nation back," in all caps.
Bro, come on, man.
And if that's not riling up, inciting, if that's not insightful language, then I don't know what is. Very incendiary. Very incendiary.
The same things he was saying when they went and stormed the Capitol last year.
Right, that part. And I will say that it's not just New York; it's also Georgia. For those who might not be familiar, although there are no real solid details about him being arrested, there are still investigations, and the possibility of him, along with Marianne Williams, of being arrested, I think, is a real possibility, which is why him releasing this information is so interesting. But the conviction is definitely another story. But again, Trump is facing a lot of trouble. Of course, this whole New York situation is tied to his the probe into him possibly paying hush money, I believe, to Stormy Daniels before he was elected as the president. Again, he was the first president to face criminal charges during that process. And it is possible that he paid off a witness in that case, which again is witness tampering. That's illegal. You can't pay off witnesses in a case, but apparently that is what it looks like by all accounts is what happened, which is the New York, but also there's Georgia cases that's going on that's dealing with his attempt to intimidate and tamper with the election process here in Georgia. Again, asking. Personally, I don't know if it was him personally or someone close to him, but there was a request here in Georgia for a recount and some special, treatment as far as the count of the votes here in Georgia. So that's under investigation. And then Florida, there's an investigation in Florida with some of his finances and some of his dealings with Mar-a-Lago. So, yeah, a lot going on with Trump.
We'll continue to keep our eye on it and not listen to much that he has to say. Appreciate you. Von Chapman said Adolf Trump will say anything to stay relevant. Man. That's so true. Ricky Fulton in the chat over on YouTube, appreciate you coming in, says, fine state of the city speech by Mayor Stothert. It's nice to know we live in a city like Omaha whose primary focus is making sure real estate developers get whatever they need to profit.
Money.
Other things that happened in that state of the Omaha thing was them talking about police and the need to hire more police, and then how we're in such a police shortage and so on. I mean, there's a lot that she had to say. It's hard for me to listen to that stuff, man. I'll be honest with you. It's hard. I go with every intent to go listen, and I'm just like, I would never, ever, on purpose, just for being social, have a conversation with this woman. I don't think I would ever do. I don't know if I would ever be able to do it without just eyes just permanently rolled up. Like, how you even have a conversation when you just eyes rolled up in your head the whole time you're talking? Like, I can't. And of course, a personal conversation would be different than listening to a speech. True, but it's really, really tough for me to even imagine. I can't watch Trump when he gets on. I can't watch Ricketts when he was talking. It's really tough. It's really tough for me to even just watch it. So
just can't take the BS.
Couldn't take it. So I had to kind of ask other people, what was Stothert talking about? Big thing that stood out with a bunch of people that I talked to was this whole police thing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's a staff shortage in policing in Omaha. Does anybody believe that? Do you guys feel that that's the case? So she wants to make sure that she's ramping up. And it's always going to be a message of we're doing great. We're doing great here in Nebraska, and that stood out too. Not a lot of mention of issues, which is, reason why we do what we do here. We talk about our own issues.
Right, because there are issues.
They're not front page news anywhere else. Did you catch wind of her State of Omaha address at all?
No, not really. I did catch wind of the police staffing issues that you're mentioning, but no, I didn't Yeah, I'm kind of along with you, man. As far as Ricketts, Stothert.
It's tough, man. It's really tough to pay attention to that stuff, man. I don't know what it is, but it's really hard for me to even listen. It's it's so scripted sometimes, so inauthentic all the time.
And that's pretty much what it is, man. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is. You feel it, you see it, you smell it. You know what it is.
Any other takeaways from the chat? Anybody else in the chat watched it and had any takeaways from it? Anything positive coming? I mean, I would love if there was something positive that was being said or something correct.
Well, there's a as far as the Omaha World Herald report on the address. According to the report, Stothert was quoted saying, "I'm proud to report that Omaha now is the country's 39th largest city. It is indeed growing and moving fast." So we talk about development, we talk about growth, and it seems like the city is growing, which could be a good thing. But again, what does that growth mean for the community is always our question. So that kind of sticks out.
Tiff Valley is growing exponentially. She's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we getting brand new skyscrapers and all kinds of stuff around here, right? Rail cars, all kinds of stuff. $1,000 rents for studio apartments.
That part.
We'll be New York soon.
Before you know it.
2 years from now, we'll be talking about the rent controlled apartments that they had to put in place because everything skyrocketed.
Man,
we're doing great.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, if nobody's got anything on how great on the speech, I guess we can move on from that. I just kind of wanted to see if anybody had any thoughts on the State of Omaha address that just happened yesterday.
Yeah, no,
we ain't talked about Mean Gene in a minute.
We haven't, but yeah, I definitely have to go back and see. She been coasting, but yeah, I have to go back and see if anything jumps out to me. But as far as this police staffing thing, we definitely will dig more into that. I have to bring that back on Friday because there's also some issues going on with the staffing and the transition from the DCYC facility to the new facility downtown. So we'll definitely talk about some of those issues. Maybe bring that back Friday with the senators. Of course, Senator Jerome McKinney put some respect on his name. Is definitely big in the criminal justice and prison reform, and of course, I believe Senator Wayne, put some respect on his name, sits on the crime or criminal justice committee. So definitely looking forward to speaking with them about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sounds good. Anything else on the agenda we can do a little lightning round about, or should we jump into some haps real quick?
No, man. Well, just about 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and jump into a couple of haps. Again, reminding the people there are some things to get into and to look out for as we get to the tail end of this week. We talked about LB 441 and education and library and things a lot. Again, LB 441 deals with censorship and post-secondary education. Again, making it possibly for librarians and educators to be prosecuted for teaching certain materials. So LB 441 will be on the floor on Friday. So you can start making plans to go if you would like for that Friday. But if you cannot make it, again, you have until 12 tomorrow in order to write a statement for that. So that's kind of the big thing as far as stories and bills to look out for this week. But other than that, what's the haps?
Well, definitely want to bring out this open house that the Omaha Library Facilities Plan is putting together here for the public Thursday, March 23rd, tomorrow from 5 to 7. I would definitely check this out, man. Like I said, one of the things I'm excited about that's going on in the city is what's happening with the library system right now. And this is your chance to check it out and talk and ask some questions and see the plans and see what's going on. So I would definitely check that out. Go to DoSpace at 5 o'clock. You know where DoSpace is, 7205 Dodge Street in corner of Dodge and 72nd. And definitely check it out. Ask the questions that you need to ask, and do us a favor and do this short survey for the library as well. I just put it in the chat there. Check it out. Definitely should check that out. Let's see. Oh, I was looking in the chat real quick. Metal Mama says, so more police, but no teachers.
Man.
Yeah, good question. I think there was a little situation where they were upping they were hiring more teachers, and they were also giving them. They also signed something to agree to a boost in pay this year as well.
We reported that.
They're trying, but they're always going to have. They're going to put more efforts behind that stuff than the other, for sure. So, appreciate everybody coming through on that. Also, this is going to be the last day, I believe, the 23rd at the Highlander today. They're going to do this is free job training if you want to be somebody who eventually works with the EPA. Maybe help take care of some of this lead problem. I think today is the last day at the Highlander to check that out at 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. Go check it out. Free training sessions for lead worker, lead removal, CPR first aid, EPA asbestos supervisor, OSHA construction safety, hazardous waste operations, and emergency response. So you get trained on any of that stuff, you got a guaranteed job for real. So definitely register for that. Check it out. Call 402-200-3010 if you have any questions. We'll put this in the Friends of First Sky Omaha for you to check out as well. Got to talk about this Beatbox Meets Poppin' that's happened on March 28th. Really want you to get your tickets for this. These are a couple of traveling artists. They're coming in from out of town. They sold out the Lead Center in Lincoln, and as a matter of fact, their show there was called "We're Muslim" or "Don't Worry" or "Calm Down, We're Muslim" or something like that. That was really
that's dope.
Yeah. It was really dope. I was hoping they were going to bring that show here, but they got a new show that they are bringing called Beatbox Meets Poppin'. So this is Amira Sackett and Mr. Mike that's coming through at the Benson Theater at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, March 28th. Get your tickets and come to this. It's going to be a really different show, really cool thing, and it's something that is really popular all over the country. I definitely think you should come check it out. These are some acclaimed artists, and there's something else. As you can see, Nebraska Arts Council, Cultural Endowment, a lot of people are behind this show happening, including the Benson Theater. And so definitely come to the Benson Theater on 7 o'clock, March 28th, and check that out. Also, don't forget, let's see, Curly Martin, the celebrating the life and journey of Curly Martin. That's happening Saturday, March 25th from 4 to 11. It's going to be a lot of musicians there, a lot of family members, a lot of people. And it's happening at the North Omaha Music and Arts, which is the old Love's Jazz. That we still call it Love's Jazz, 2510 North 24th Street. It's happening over there, right there on the Deuce. And it's a tribute to Curly Martin. He just passed away recently. We lost a treasure, lost a library of information. And I lost a really good friend and mentor. So, and it looks like a lot of people are feeling the same way. So everybody's going to come out and celebrate his life and journey. So meet me down there. Meet us down there. We'll do that. We'll party up for Curly on March 25th, starting at 4 o'clock and going to 11 o'clock. Probably gonna be a lot of good music happening. Every musician in town and out of town is coming in. So come check it out. That's definitely a haps. Definitely something that's happening. Unfortunately, we gotta talk about that. I also want to talk about remind people that the Urban Flag Football League is happening.
Hey.
Yeah, man, April 1st from 1 to 3. Get your kids signed up for the Flag Football League with the Black Agenda Alliance, one of our partners here at First Sky Omaha. In the morning, Black Agenda Alliance gets down and taking care of these kids, man, boys ages 6 to 11. And you can go check them out at Spalding Park. I was wondering, I used to live on Spalding, so I would drive down there and be like, man, what's all this? What's going on here? Who's doing this? Driving past them for years, and then here we are now. Now we're partners. So that's what's up. Location 3012 Manderson Street. That's called Spalding Parks, right there off of 30th and Manderson. Go check them out on April 1st from 1 to 3. You can call Big Mike, Brother Kasim, or Jason. As you can see, we'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. But definitely go to the Black Agenda Alliance website and get some more information there, or Facebook page, get some more information there if you want to get your son or nephew or grandson signed up here for flag football. So definitely want to shout out to them for taking care of the kids. First Sky Omaha loves the kids,
man, all for the littles.
And one more I want to pay attention to is Whitney Richardson, our sister over here in our sister in crime, our sister in news, squad, news gang. Political Evolution is happening wherever you get podcasts. I still get mine from iTunes. And so definitely check that out. She's had some special guests on it. And our own Kimara Snipes and Precious McKesson have some interviews with her as well. So definitely check that out and really appreciate that. And also while we're at it, I don't have a flyer for this, but definitely check out Lives with Stuart Chittenden, man. That's a good partner of ours as well, and he's been doing some awesome stuff. He just interviewed With Love Felicia, and he also interviewed our own John Heaston from The Reader.
Man.
So yeah, man. So he's on it too, man. Lots of people that we can get to know and should get to know and connect with and live alive with one another, because there's a lot of people doing good work, and I love that. So appreciate that very much. Let's see. Ariel's 42 says prayers to the family of the man who recently passed away in police custody. Yes.
Irvo.
We'll be talking about that on Friday as well. I would love to see. We talk about whether or not things have changed from George Floyd, or cops now going to be prosecuted for that kind of murder. This brother had his knee on his neck and passed away in police custody as well. And we'll definitely talk about whether or not this is going to, if the needle has changed and people are going to start getting prosecuted. We'll see. Vaughn Chapman says the need for more police will generate a proposal for more funding for the police. The mayor is asking for more money without asking for more money for policing. Interesting.
There you go. There you go.
All the money. Kimara Snipes says big ups to Krystal Rider of DoSpace. Yep. Congratulations. And also Ariel's 402 is talking about the love for flag football. The community needs to be involved with the youth at all early age to help with their future. So true. So true. Appreciate you guys' comments. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you guys being here and adding to the conversation. And we'll go ahead and get out of here. It's already 9:05. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Man, as always, big shout out to the dynamic duo, the Sister Supreme, for coming through and politicking with us for a little bit. Precious McKesson politicking with P, and also Kimara Snipes. Let us know what's good in the hood. We definitely appreciate both of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules. We love and thank you as always. Also, big shout out to all the listeners out there, ghost listeners, radio crew, chat chimers, everybody who's embarked on this experience and this journey with us. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you. And catch the same time, same place, man. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, take it away.
Right on, Leg. He just says, great show as always. Thank you. We appreciate you coming on. Pop says, thanks for another phenomenal show. These programs are the highlight of my week. Love you much and look forward to seeing you and my beautiful First Sky fam on Friday. Appreciate you, Pops. Mama Guy says, enjoy the show. I tried to listen with hubby, but he fell asleep 45 minutes ago. Enjoy your day. Okay, just go back and turn YouTube on and play it again until it gets all the pieces. Yep.
Real quick, before we get out of here, also I want to give a shout out to Mama God. If anyone is planning on celebrating Easter, Mama God is creating baskets. She has some pretty nice bunny balloons, as stuffed balloons, and some treats and goodies for the littles. But if you got a sweet tooth as well, go ahead and get you one. Definitely check out Mama God, Deanna Simmons of God, you see on the chat on Facebook if you're interested.
Yeah, man. Shout out. Mama God, next time you need to put some flyers at the Benson Theater, hit me up. Hit me up and let me know, and I'll get them from you. And we'll make sure we pass them out to the neighborhood and all that good stuff. And also put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well, so people can know how to get a hold of you for that. Great crafts person, very artistic. I know for a fact I got a couple of coasters here just from a Super Bowl party. Let me make some crafts for Super Bowl party on top of food. So shout out to Mama God for all that. Marianne Williams says, thanks First Sky. Love this format. I learned so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
We learned a lot too, and thank you for your contributions. We learned it from you. We learned it from all of you guys. So appreciate it. I want to give thanks to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. I want to give thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And I want to give thanks to you, the chat chimers, for allowing us to speak with you. Really appreciate you guys coming in and giving us your opinion, all this good information, all your research, and everything else that you provide for these conversations to happen. Really appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. And also, I absolutely need to thank our reoccurring sponsors of the channel as well. Thank you for all the $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people for joining and donating to this cause, so we can keep these conversations rolling and get to the next level with some of these things that we got going on. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for some live events, some live alive with one another events, some new video pieces that we're working on, some new audio pieces we're working on, new partnerships happening, and a new website dropping soon as well. So thank you so much. Really appreciate everybody that's coming through. We won't keep you any longer. We will see you on Friday when we talk to the brothers, Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their names, and get your questions ready for them. And we'll have a great conversation on Friday as well. In the meantime, between time, stay warm. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.